Hey guys, Mike Lacey, MLacey91 here, and today I received my discount comic book service shipment for the month of May. So I wanted to do a haul video for you here to see what we've got. Now, what we have here is 2 stacks of books. So we are going to open them up and see what is inside here. Now, it looks like a lot of books because I do only get my books shipped once a month. So this is all of the books that I've purchased for the month of May. Save on the shipping that way. Now, they offer a couple of different options. You can order to be delivered once a month, or bi-weekly, or even every week, and it ends up being $7 per shipment. So for me, the way I look at it is, if I get them only shipped once a month, then that's more books that I can buy. So that's what I do. I get them shipped once a month. It's the most economical way for me. And when you're ordering the amount of books that I order, it tends to be the way to go. It's a lot easier than going down to my shop every week and picking up the books, making sure that they have the books that I want, making sure that they got my pull list correct and everything like that. So the easiest way for me to do it is to just go to Discount Comic Book Service every month and place my order. So let's take a look and see at what we have here for the month of May. And that is the stack. Now, it's a rather big stack, but honestly, last month and as well as this month, I didn't participate in any convergence at all, so I have no DC books. And Secret Wars, I'm really only going with the main title and a couple of the tie-in books. And to be honest with you, I didn't really even make up my mind on what I wanted to do with the tie-in books until I heard some of the reviews over the last couple of weeks on the various series. So I actually ordered them for the following order. So here I really don't have much of anything in the way of Secret Wars is concerned. So to start off, here we have Star Wars number 5. Now, I've been loving this series. This series is excellent. Jason Aaron is doing awesome. John Cassaday, the artwork is absolutely amazing. Now, I know that he is coming off the book, so it'll be interesting to see how the book changes visually when Stuart Eminem comes on board. I love his work. I've loved all his work on All New X-Men, so I'm really excited to see what his take on Star Wars is. Next we have is Moon Knight, number 15. Now, this is another book that I've jumped back on because of everything that I've heard about it. I did read the first arc, the Warren Ellis arc. Now, Declan Shelby stayed on the book for a little while, and now, I'm sorry, the creative team is Colin Bunn, German Peralta, I don't know who that is, and Dan Brown. So, I keep hearing good things about the book that has stayed good. I dropped off it for a little while, and now I picked up another issue just to see how it goes. Uncle Scrooge number 2. Now, I missed number 1 of this. I thought I had ordered it last month, but I guess I didn't. I'm a huge Disney fan, and really excited that IDW has gone forward with their license and is doing monthly books now. Now, here we have from Boom Archaea is Lantern City number 1. Now, going through previews, every month in previews, I try to go a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Something that is something out of the superhero genre. Not that I'm definitely big into the superhero genre, but I'm not against other things. I do read a lot of other books, whether it's through Dark Horse, Image, Boom, whatever it is. So I always go through and try and find something that piques my interest, and Lantern City I thought looked really good. Also from Boom is Giant Days. This is a book that I picked up for my wife and daughters. they intend to enjoy it. I don't really know anything about it, but I picked it up for them. Silk number 4. So far, Silk has been great. I've really enjoyed it so far. When the solicits came out for Spider-Gwen and Silk, I really thought that Spider-Gwen was going to be the better series based off of that Edge of Spider-Verse issue. It's okay, but I think that between the two so far, Silk has definitely been the better of the two. Now here we are, Secret Wars number 2. So, like I said, I'm really just taking on the main series and seeing what that's going to be about. I have both issues 1 and 2 in this shipment. I haven't read either one of them yet. So, interested in seeing how that goes. Been hearing good things. Rebels number 2 from Dark Horse. Rebels number 1 was my favorite book of the month last month. It's a Revolutionary War story, basically about the first militia. It's all set before the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and it really is the absolute beginnings of what would become the Revolutionary War. And anything that is, I don't want to say revisionist history, but like fictionalized history is very interesting to me. And this is a series from Brian Wood. Brian Wood's work I'm most familiar with from Star Wars that he did at Dark Horse. The most recent ongoing Star Wars before Marvel took it over and Jason Aaron, so which was actually excellent. So if you haven't read that, I would recommend you go back. You can get the trades of that and just kind of compare and contrast the way. And it's the same time period. It's still after A New Hope. So it's interesting to see the two different takes that both Brian Wood and Jason Aaron took and are taking to tell that story. We have Ms. Marvel number 15. One of the best books at Marvel right now is Ms. Marvel. I really enjoy her character. I think Kamala Khan is a refreshing, really fresh breath of fresh air. I really kind of liken her to Miles Morales. So if you like Miles Morales' portrayal or characterization of Spider-Man and you're not reading Ms. Marvel, I think you really need to do yourself a favor and pick it up. Howard the Duck number 3. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to think of this series. I haven't read a lot of Howard the Duck. I'm mostly familiar with Howard the Duck, as I'm sure most people are, from the George Lucas 1986 movie, which most people hate, but I love. Holds a special place in my heart. Now, Chip Zdarsky is writing this book, who is mostly known as an artist, mainly from Sex Criminals. And his humor is absolutely phenomenal. So if you think that if you're reading Sex Criminals and you think that all the humor is coming from Matt Fraction, it's got to be a tag team where they both have a lot of the humor that you see in the Howard the Duck is the same humor that you see in Sex Criminals, as far as without the vulgarity, obviously, without the explicitness, but it's still there. It's still a very funny book. Darth Vader number 5. Absolutely phenomenal. So far, both Star Wars and Darth Vader have been absolutely nails on the head. There hasn't been a miss yet that I've seen. And it's a series that I absolutely love. Captain Marvel number 15. Now, this is another book that is very good. Kelly Sue DeConnick is doing a great job with Carol Danvers, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, not Ms. Marvel. Used to be Ms. Marvel, not Ms. Marvel anymore. Really strong female character, a lot of fun. A movie coming within the next couple of years. So if you aren't familiar with Carol Danvers, if you're not familiar with Captain Marvel, this is really an excellent series. Everything that Kelly Sue has done, the last volume and this most recent volume are very good It's a very good way to get to know the character. Birthright number 7 continues to be absolutely awesome. One of my favorite books that's out right now. I absolutely love what's going on here. I love all of there's a lot of layers to this story. If you want to know more about Birthright, I would suggest going back and watching Chris Vince's video, Vintomania, where he reviews Birthright, and he really does an excellent job of conveying what the book is about. Wonder Woman 77, number 1. Now, I don't know if this is a one-shot. It says it's a special. It's a $7.99 cover price. I don't think I knew that when I placed my order. Now, the good thing is that I placed my order through Discount Comic Book Service, and everything is 40% off. Everything Marvel and DC is immediately 40% off. So that takes the sting away a little bit. But as far as, I was really excited when I saw that because I love the Linda Carter Wonder Woman 77 television show. I may even go so far as to say that I like it better than the 66 Batman show, which is hit and miss for some people. I happen to love it. I love the camp that goes with it. Other than Super Friends, the 66 Batman was really my first introduction to Batman. So again, that holds a special place in my heart. And I really couldn't get into the 66 Batman book. Jeff Parker was writing it. I don't know if he's still writing it. And Jeff Parker happens to be one of my favorite writers. But I just couldn't get into the book. So I'm hoping that the Wonder Woman 77 is a little bit better than that. It does kind of seem at the point that it's a one-shot. So I'll be interested in see kind of how it goes. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl number 5. Hilarious. So far this series is great. I don't know anything about Squirrel Girl. All I know is that she fought Galactus at one point. But this book is a little slice of life that is kind of in the corners of the Marvel Universe that you don't really go to too often. We've seen over the last few months DC kind of go in a direction with both Gotham Academy and with Batgirl to where a more lighthearted, not all ages, but kind of, I don't even know the right words to say, but kind of away from the dark and gritty side of the New 52 that we've come to expect. And even Dan DiDio has recently said that when post-convergence, when DC comes back, it's going to be more about the stories and storytelling than it is being beholden to continuity. And that's kind of what I see in Squirrel Girl, where this is kind of just, let's take a character, an offbeat character, and let's just have fun with it. And that's what this book is. This book is, it's a lot of fun. Spider-Gwen number 4. Like I said when I was talking about Silk, when the two series were both announced, I was really much more excited for Spider-Gwen because I loved that issue of Edge of Spider-Verse. But so far for me, the book, I'm lukewarm on the book. It's okay. We'll keep going another couple of issues and just see if it maybe finds its stride, but so far it really hasn't. Let's see what it has in store post-Secret Wars. Spider-Woman number 7. I still don't know how I feel about the suit. A lot of people seem to like it. I'm not really a fan of it. I've always liked the classic Jessica Drew Spider-Woman suit. For me, it's just always been cool. That's how I've known her through the Avengers, through the animated series. And I don't know if I'm necessarily warming to this look to her. Now, if you liked Nick Spencer's Superior Foes of Spider-Man, this has a similar feel, just with Spider-Woman. Secret Wars number 1. Don't ask me why they didn't put it in the shipment together, but they didn't. So that's Secret Wars number 1. I'm really excited to read so far what's been going on. I've heard lots of good things about it. Interested to see my take on it and how I feel about it. Kanan, The Last Padawan, number 2. If you're not watching Star Wars Rebels, you need to be watching Star Wars Rebels. The characters are really good. There's a lot of old characters that you'll see. Yoda's made an appearance. Lando has made an appearance. Darth Vader has made an appearance. But really, it centers on Kanan and Ezra and Hera, and kind of really the beginnings of the Rebel Alliance. You'll kind of see how it's formed and kind of the beginnings of it getting on track. And Kanan plays a big part in that. And the first issue of this series, really interesting. Interested to see what happens in issue number 2. Fix the camera over here a little bit. Seems to have slid down. Have Ant-Man number 5. Nick Spencer is writing this, again, from Superior Foes of Spider-Man, and the humor is absolutely phenomenal. I think this book is absolutely hilarious, and it's really getting me hyped for the movie. I didn't really know how excited I was for the movie, because I was never really a big fan of Scott Lang. Hank Pym was always the Ant-Man that I had been familiar with. I've read a couple of things with Scott Lang, but not a ton. But this series has really kind of got my juices going for the movie, so I'm excited for that. He-Man and the Eternity War, number 6. I know that Chris is reading He-Man and the Eternity War. I don't know how many other people are, and I think that's a shame. If you're at all familiar with 80s pop culture, He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, really the staples and icons of the 80s when it came to both animation and action figures. Now, me and Chris did a podcast for a number of years called Masters of the Universe Chronicles. I came on a little while into it and kind of became an unofficial co-host for the podcast, and hopefully we'll be bringing that back sooner than later. But He-Man has always been near and dear to my heart. It's always been my number one franchise when it came to pretty much anything. So to see that this book is as good as it is really makes me happy. Then we have Big Thunder Mountain Railroad number 3. Again, now this is my favorite ride at the Magic Kingdom, and I know I said it the last time I did a haul video, but this is the 3rd installment in the Disney Kingdom series, where we had Seekers of the Weird was the first one, and then Figment was the second one, and they were both good. But so far, I think the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is so far the best. So really excited to see the next chapter in that. I think it's going to read great as a trade. So if you haven't been picking it up, it's a 5-issue mini. This is issue 3 of 5. So probably by midsummer, end of summer, you should start seeing the hardcover be solicited through previews. I would look to pick it up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 46. Absolutely great series. I think that it's definitely one of my top 5 series going right now is Turtles. IDW is doing an absolutely fantastic job with it. Again, just to give a little bit more of a background, me, Chris, and a couple of our friends, Dylan Cook and Sween Hollick, we did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles podcast for 3 years called What the Shell. It was the first Ninja Turtles podcast on all of iTunes. So, like I said, with He-Man, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 2 franchises that are really near and dear to my heart and absolutely love. People seem to have a little bit of an issue with licensed property comics. And I can understand because sometimes they're not done well. But I'll tell you now, the Masters of the Universe comic, the Turtles comic, absolutely great. Shield number 6. Now, I've really enjoyed this series as well. I'm a fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, some people are, some people aren't, but I think that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been absolutely phenomenal from the midpoint of Season 1, pretty much after when we started seeing the fallout from the Winter Soldier, on all the way through this series and the introduction of the Inhumans. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler for people, but absolutely great. Coulson and his team with Agent May and Fitz and Simmons and Skye, really cool. And to see them in the book and to be interacting with the rest of the heroes from the Marvel Universe, I think is a cool idea and is fun for me to play with. Now, I said that I really didn't pick up any Secret Wars tie-ins, and I'm not really sure how much of a tie-in this is, but I did pick this up because I thought it looked awesome, which is Where Monsters Dwell #1. Now, this is a Garth Ennis book, and I'm a fan of Garth Ennis. I really loved his Punisher work. Dinosaurs and 30s pilots, that kind of a matchup I couldn't resist. So even though it does have a Secret Wars tag on it, and right at the beginning I really said I really wasn't going to do too much with Secret Wars, I've now, since I've heard some things about different Secret Wars series, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit, and I've ordered some in later months, but for this month, I really, on the initial shot, I really didn't order any tie-ins, but that one was too awesome to, too awesome looking. The concept was too awesome to pass up. All new Hawkeye #3, Jeff Lemire's Hawkeye. I ordered the 3rd issue before the 1st issue even came out. It's okay. I don't know if I'm going to keep on getting it. It's definitely not the Matt Fraction Hawkeye, I don't think. I don't think that it has the same vibe. But we'll read this issue and kind of make a decision from there as to whether or not I'm going to continue to pick up the series. I'm not quite sure I am. We have Black Widow #18. This series is awesome. I've not read a lot of solo Black Widow stuff, but this series, Black Widow kind of, even in the movies, has kind of played a little bit of a backseat role. I know that there's been a lot of internet flack about her role, and I really don't want to get into that. But I do know that there is a lack of female merchandise when it comes to Marvel. I understand that most often than not, the action figures, the female figures, are short packed. A lot of times on the shirts, you're not really seeing a whole lot of, with the Age of Ultron stuff, you're not seeing a whole lot of Scarlet Witch, you're not seeing a whole lot of Black Widow. But the Black Widow series that Nathan Edmondson and Phil Noto are doing is absolutely phenomenal. Phil Noto has a style, if you're not familiar with his work, he has a style unlike anyone else, and it is beautiful. So even if you just pick it up for the art, just to get a taste, I would absolutely give you a thumbs up for that. We have Skylanders #9. This is a book for my son. He loves Skylanders. I'm not a big video game person. I know a lot of people like Skylanders, and that's awesome. So I picked that up for him. He's been reading it and liking it as well. Oddly Normal #7. Again, another book for one of my children, for my daughter. It looks interesting. I haven't really read it yet, but I think that is one that I'm going to kind of steal her short box and kind of take a peek at. I've heard good things. Lumberjanes #14. This book is hilarious. It's an all ages book from Boom. Noelle Stevenson, who just did a what's she doing now? She's doing something, I believe, in regards to Secret Wars. Is she on A-Force? I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But what she's doing here with Lumberjanes, it's hard to explain. but it's an all ages book. If you have preteens, teenagers, this is a good book to give them, to kind of get them introduced to comics. It really is a lot of fun. You have Gem and the Holograms number 3. Yeah, number 3. Again, so far, I'm not really sure. It says Thompson, Campbell, and Roboto. Not Roboto from Masters Universe. I don't know any of these creators, but so far the book is pretty good. It's definitely better than that god-awful trailer that we saw last week. The steaming pile that was that trailer. I'm going to leave that there. But so far, the Gem and the Holograms book has been entertaining. Donald Duck number 1. Again, huge Disney fan. Really excited that IDW is doing something with the licensing. So Donald Duck number 1. I got the subscription variant cover. Pretty thick book too. I don't know if it's got extra pages in it or what, but interested to see what we have inside here. I know that there's a Mickey that is starting next month, so I'm excited for that as well. The Adventures of Arrow Girl from Action Lab, number 1 of 4. Just thought this looked really cool. That's why I picked that up. Almost looks like the Big Show there in the back. And the last thing in this shipment is a trade that I picked up because I'm not really a big event guy. And when this event was announced, I had no interest in it. They did a whole Villains Month with villain-based variant covers. Not even variant covers, they were, one-shots of all villains to coincide with Forever Evil. Now, like I said, when it was announced, I had absolutely no interest in it, but from everything I heard, it was really good. So, I'm very interested to read it. I'm glad I didn't pick it up at the time, because I know that there was a problem with the shipping schedule, that there were a lot of delays, especially with the last issue. I know that there were problems with a lot of number 1s or issues that were taking place after the end of Forever Evil actually getting shipped before the last issue of Forever Evil, so a lot of the ending got spoiled. Like Captain Cold and like Luthor when they joined the Justice League. A lot of that was kind of spoiled, or the end of Forever Evil was spoiled because those issues came out before the last issue of Forever Evil shipped. So I'm glad that I waited and I picked up the trade, and I'm really excited to read this. Now also, which I wasn't expecting, but they sent me in my shipment. I got a Avengers magazine. I didn't order this, but it came anyway. It says it's a free edition, and I'm just flipping through it. It doesn't look like it is Age of Ultron centric, because it looks like it has a lot of cool artwork and a lot of cool stuff, like it's just kind of showing you like different things in regards to the Avengers. Yeah, it looks like it's got some little bios, like here, got bio for Ultron and Taskmaster, Loki, Thanos, Kang. Pretty interesting. It was free, so looking forward to reading it. What I didn't get was my previews. I ordered previews. I get previews put into my shipment every month, and no previews. So I'm going to have to go out to my LCS and pick up an issue of previews. So that was my haul video for May. If you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. A lot of the ways that I find YouTubers and channels that I subscribe to are through people that leave comments on either my videos or other people's videos. So if you like what you saw, leave a comment. That will generate a reason for me to click on your link and watch your channel. And if I like the content that you're providing, then I'll click and subscribe to you as well. So awesome stuff. I know I'm fairly new to the community. I know that everybody, for the most part, that I've interacted with so far has been absolutely awesome. So keep it up. You guys keep up the good work. I hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing here, and I'll see you next time.